In an age of cold calculations and deals tainted by narrow interests, Egypt was presented with a tempting offer that no rational mind would dismiss. The cancellation of all its debts in exchange for relinquishing the Palestinian cause. An offer that, if accepted, could have erased figures from the ledgers of banks, but at the cost of erasing the cause of an entire nation. Yet, Egypt did not hesitate for a moment. Instead, its conviction deepened, and its pledge to uphold Palestine was renewed. These positions were not born of the moment, nor were they a response to fleeting emotions, but rather a steadfast approach, rooted in the conscience of Egyptians and their state for decades.
حل المشكلة الفلسطينية من جميع وجوهها هو الأمر ذو الأهمية الأولى عندنا. أهمية أولى ليه؟ لأنه زي ما قلت نحن وراء السلام.
Since the dawn of history, Palestine has remained Egypt's priority, no matter how times changed or challenges multiplied. This stance was made clear during the era of Gamal Abdel Nasser, who saw the cause not as a dispute over occupied land, but as a battle for existence and identity, moving his armies as though defending Egypt's own soil.
أننا نتعهد نحن شعب الجمهورية العربية المتحدة أننا لن نقبل بأي حال من الأحوال الأمر الواقع الذي تريد إسرائيل أن تفرضه في القدس، فالقدس العربية جزء من الأمة العربية ولا يمكن لأي فرد أن يتخلى عن القدس العربية.
Then came Anwar Sadat, who, despite the bitterness of war and the harshness of peace, insisted that no settlement would be complete without the Palestinians' return to his land and home. After him, Hosni Mubarak did not shut Egypt's doors to Gaza, despite overwhelming internal and external crises. He kept the crossing open, sending medicine and food, refusing to let the Palestinian people bleed alone. Thus, successive Egyptian generations inherited this same path, one generation after another, until today's reality, turbulent with international pressures. Even so, the bond tying Egypt to Palestine has never been severed, a bond of principle and an unbreakable pledge. Egyptian hospitals open their doors to the wounded. Convoys cross the borders, loaded with hope in the form of food, medicine, and fuel, reaffirming once again that Palestine is not a mere item in a political file, but a lifeblood flowing through the veins. In this modern era, where many assume that interests outweigh principles, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's position stands as a continuation of this legacy. He has not approached Palestine as a bargaining chip on an international table, but as a matter of blood, Arab identity, and brotherhood. Bridges of aid flowed without interruption. Convoys carrying food and medicine, hospitals receiving the injured, and Egyptian hands easing the weight of the blockade on Gaza. As though Egypt was saying through its people, we are not offering charity, but fulfilling a duty. What we provide is not a favor, but a debt owed since the very beginning. Since the outbreak of the latest war on Gaza, Egypt has not ceased to extend its hand. Trucks cross the Rafah crossing like lifelines, flowing from the hearts of Egyptians. In January alone, the Tahrir Mas Fund launched the largest convoy in its history. 305 trucks carrying more than 4,200 tons of aid, accompanied by 11 ambulances. More convoys followed on July 27th. The Egyptian Red Crescent announced the launch of Zad al-Azza Provision of Honor from Egypt to Gaza convoy, carrying urgent humanitarian aid as part of Egypt's sustained efforts to support the Palestinian people. As months passed, aid exceeded all expectations. Egypt announced that nearly 45,000 trucks had entered the Strip since the war began, loaded with more than 500,000 tons of supplies. In this context, President el-Sisi stressed that Gaza needs between 600 and 700 trucks daily to survive, emphasizing that Egypt has never closed the Rafah crossing, with thousands of trucks ready on Egypt's soil awaiting permission to cross. These figures are not dry statistics, but living testimony. Between 75 and 80% of all aid that entered Gaza during this war came from Egypt alone. A clear message to the world: Palestine is not a bargaining card in Egyptian policy, but a moral and historical obligation flowing in the veins of this nation. What Cairo provides is neither a gift nor a favor, but a duty carried by Egyptians, leaders, and people alike as part of an enduring position that has not wavered over the decades. As for tomorrow, it will remain an extension of this story. The future carries the promise that Egyptians will pass this pledge on to their children. Gaza will remain in the heart and memory. The door will always stay open, no matter how long the night lasts. And hope will endure as long as Egypt lives, never betraying a cause it believed in, nor abandoning a people it has always carried in its heart.
أنا قلت أفكركم بيه للمصريين. أنا بتكلم قلت أفكركم إن إحنا ما بنتغيرش، حريصين جدا 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 على إن نوجد حلول تخفف من التوتر والتصعيد اللي موجود، تنهي الحرب، توجد حل نهائي لهذه القضية. في نهاية كلمتي أنا عايز أقول وأوجه نداء عام لكل دول العالم، لدول الاتحاد الأوروبي، للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، لأشقائنا في المنطقة العربية، إن احنا نبذل أقصى جهد خلال هذه الفترة الصعبة لإيقاف الحرب وإدخال المساعدات وإنهاء هذه الأزمة.
المصريين قالوا كلمتهم.
كل الحب والاحترام للشعب المصري.
شيل شيل عالجمالي شيل يا حوطك بالله دم الشهيد معطر بالهليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويلو ويلو من الله لا اسهر على نجوم الليل انا داويلو شيل شيل عالجمالي شيل